Good morning, everyone. Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
How are you?
We
Hi,
are
Mabel. That's Mabel.
off. Mabel.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy you're all joining our Feeling Good morning yoga class. We're super excited to have Tanya here with her two kitties. Look, both of them are there. Today is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a light yoga meditation. And before we start and before I leave, I want to share Tanya's Instagram profile. So Tanya is not just a yoga instructor, meditation instructor, and a cat mom to two kitties. She's also a crystals curator, which is a very interesting thing. And I'll let her tell you more about her in a second, but I want you all to see her Instagram profile. I'm sorry for the misspelled. It's supposed to say Instagram. Embrace the Light, that's her company. So you can all check it out. It's got links to her websites as well. Tanya, if you had to introduce yourself in a couple sentences, what would you say?
Let's see. Well, I'm owned by these two. They're both busy in the background. Rosie was having an epic soccer session with Mousy. So I would say that. So I taught yoga for a long time at a yoga studio. Down the street from me, and it was very lovely and very nice. And I just kind of fell into it, and I really fell in love with it. And then during lockdown last year, I started doing weekly meditation classes as well, which the kittens are super helpful with. And last November, after a few years of really loving and having really big, important, big healing work internally through intuitive healing and Reiki and crystals, I decided to start selling crystals. And so I actually have my website is in the works at the moment, because at the end of the month, I'm launching an online crystal shop. So as well as doing the stuff on Instagram, and I'm really looking forward to teaching you guys today and checking everything out. And, and if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me afterwards. And also please know that, so the way that we're going to do this is we're going to start with, we're going to start with yoga, and I'm sure that Mabel and Rosie will be super helpful, as they usually are. So there's a very good chance that I will have to talk to them at some point during the meditation, or not during meditation, but during the yoga class, because somebody in particular is very needy. But you can't guess which one.
No.
And so I look forward to having all you guys from all over joining us. And at the very end of class, what I'm going to do is when we lay down for Shavasana, which is the quiet time of the yoga class, at the end of the Shavasana, I'm going to lead you through a meditation. And when I lead you through the meditation, at the end of it, we're just going to quietly, I'm going to lead you out of it, and then we're going to just close everything out. So if you want to stay in meditation for longer, you are more than welcome to stay in meditation for longer. It's completely up to you. Like if you end up falling asleep, that's fine too. If you want to stay there for an hour, that's fine too. Also, throughout class, it's really important to know that with yoga, the most important thing is to honor your body. So if you want to go into child's pose and be in child's pose for the whole class, not one single person is going to judge you. Nobody is going to judge you for that. If you want to be in child's pose for half the class, that's fine too. I'll also give a couple of options throughout for different ways that you can do stuff, either different variations to make it a good practice for you. And I'm very excited to share with you today.
Awesome. And it's going to be, about 45 minutes altogether, 50?
Yeah, probably about 50 minutes altogether, because I'm going to try to do about 40 minutes of yoga, and then we'll do about 7 minutes of meditation at the end.
Great. And I'm so happy to see people from all over. We've got people from Wisconsin, Washington, D.C., California. I'm personally in California. It's 9 a.m. What a great way to start the weekend. Tanya, where are you located?
I am in Los Angeles as well.
Yeah. Okay. And before I really leave, I just want to tell everyone thank you for your donations. So this is Tanya is donating her time, and all of your optional donations will be going to Pasadena Humane. If you still wish to donate to saving kitties in the Los Angeles area, Pasadena Humane is a beautiful organization that we work with very closely. They're wonderful. So this button is here for anyone who wants to click and check out their awesome work. Someone is here from the UK. Hi, Claire, and Northern California and Germany. Amazing, wonderful. So we stay up throughout the night to watch the Olympics, and then we stay up in the morning to do yoga. How beautiful. Okay. I am about to leave and let you and the kitties take over. Thank you so much again, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Good morning. So we are going to do a bit of a hip opener series this morning, because who doesn't need hip openers? And also sometimes, so let's start by finding a comfortable seat, because I do think that with yoga and the fact that it is literally a moving meditation and can be treated like a moving meditation, so it's really nice to take a moment and just close your eyes and maybe have a nice yawn, stretch your face. Nobody can see you except for your pets. So whatever you need to do, but we don't really stretch our face enough, so maybe taking a nice big yawn. And really just allowing yourself to sit, to feel your sit bones firmly rooted into the ground. And then take a moment and place your hands on your heart. And something that came to me this morning, and something that I've been working on specifically for the last few weeks, about trust, and also about releasing worry and releasing fear, because fear and worry are two things that are, honestly, they take up a lot of energy, and they don't really have an impact on the outcome of a situation in a positive way, because if anything, it can add to what's already going to happen. So really, Rosie is full on enjoying her box and Mousy. So it's really important to understand that worry and control and trying to control something takes energy, and it takes energy away from creation. So the mantra that I came up with this morning, that I think is something that we can always come back to, is, and what I personally would like to dedicate this class today to, but you are more than welcome to set whatever intention you would like to set. My intention for this class today is that we trust the universe, we release all worry and control regarding whatever situation is currently on our mind and its outcome, and whatever happens will be in everyone's highest and greatest good. And just take a moment and allow yourself to feel what it feels like to trust. And if that's something that you're struggling with, you can connect to somebody that you trust as a way of finding what that feels like. You can connect to your pet and connect to the way that they trust you as a reminder for trust. But just taking these next few moments and taking a few deep inhales and exhales, and focusing on trust and the freedom that trust brings. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands palm face up on either knee. And then take a deep inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Deep inhale, this time bringing your right hand to the left side of your head. You can open your eyes if you'd like. And you're just going to, on your exhale, Take a little stretch, even if it's only like this is as much as you can go, that's great. Nice deep stretch here. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you find your mind wandering at all, you can inhale and say the word inhale in your head. And as you exhale, just say the word exhale to yourself in your head. And it usually tends to support a quieter mind. And if your mind is going 1,000,000 miles a minute, that's okay too. Just honor that and let it go. Inhale brings you back up to center. And on your exhale, you're going to take your left hand to the outside of your right head and just take a slight stretch. Two more breaths here. And release. And then from here, you're going to take your hands and just walk them forward. And perhaps you only come this far, and that's okay. You want to keep a flat back. And if you need to, on your next exhale, you're going to walk your hands a little more forward. And again, take a deep inhale. And exhale, fold a little bit deeper. And slowly make your way back up. Making your way onto your mat. Well, I will be making my way on my mat. You should already be here. If you want to have a blanket under your knees, you can do so. We don't have a lot of stuff under our knees today, but we do have some because we're working on hips. So we're going to just start making your way into child's pose. So toes, big toes together, knees apart, working your hips towards your feet, stretching your arms nice and long, engaging your belly, drawing your shoulders towards one another. Hi, Nicole. You're such a good helper. Okay. A few more breaths here. I'm going to have to move it. You can bring your forehead to the mat if that feels comfortable for you. And then making your way, or slowly without disturbing the cat, into 4-point kneeling. So we're going to come into some cat and cow poses. So the way that you want to start is you want your wrists directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. Your toes can be tucked or they can be untucked. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your belly down, shoulder blades come together, coming into cow pose, and exhale, rounding, coming into cat. Inhale, and exhale. If you want to add a little extra movement, maybe you take one shoulder to your hip, and the other shoulder to your hip. Perhaps on your inhale, you come back into child's pose, And then exhale, shift forward into cow. Really allowing this whole practice to be whatever you need. Taking a few more rounds wherever you're at. And tucking your toes, making your way back into downward dog. Bicycling your feet as you work the opposite heel towards the ground. Maybe stretching one leg back, bending your knee, opening your hip. You do that on one side. Doing that on the other side as well. Two more breaths here. And on your next inhale, look between your hands. And you have a couple of options here. If you're newer to yoga, you're going to just slowly walk your feet forward. Otherwise, if you have a bit more practice, you're just going to step one foot forward and step your other foot to meet it. For this first forward fold, you're going to take your hips or feet a bit wider, so at least as wide as your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, and you're going to take your opposite elbows and wrap your arms around, and just really allow your head to hang, your shoulders to hang. Take a deep inhale, and a little bit further, lengthen, and exhale, fold. If you need to, you can take a bend in your knee. Two more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to release your hands to ground. And exhale here. And inhale, arms sweep all the way up. Hands come to heart. And we're going to move through some Suriname Skara A, so sun salutations. So if you're newer, you can have your feet hip distance apart. If you are a more seasoned practitioner, you can bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Take a deep inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant your hands, step it back into plank. If you need to bring your knees down, you can. Otherwise, and also if you have wrist issues, you can always come into 4-point kneeling. So take a breath here. And on your exhale, you're going to bring your knees down if you need to and come to knees, chest, chin. Or you can just shift forward and come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take 5 breaths here. Hi. Are you doing puppy pose? Hi, Nix. Oh yeah, that's the perfect spot for you. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, look between your hands. And exhale, step. Or walk towards the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pull. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands high. And again, inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, being mindful of any text that might be in your way. And then from here, we're going to either bring your knees down or come into chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Yeah. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Oh, excellent puppy pose again, people. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mabel. Yeah. We're teaching yoga. One more breath here. On your next inhale, lift between your hands and step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms stick out and up. Up, up. Exhale, hands to heart. And we're going to do this 3 more times. So at any point, if you'd like to experiment with closing your eyes, I always really enjoy doing sun salutations with my eyes closed because it helps me connect a little bit deeper within. Yeah. So it's just an option. It's not a requirement. Inhale, arms to God. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and step back to plank. Inhaling here. And then making your way through your vinyasa. 1 breath per movement until you come into downward dog. And then you'll take 5 breaths here. Yeah. Hi, Mabel. Excellent puppy pose again. I don't know that pose. Is that a shrimp pose? 2 more breaths here. Hi, Mabel. On your next inhale, look between your hands. And exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take a deep breath here. And then on your next exhale, you're going to plant your hands, step back. Inhaling here. Exhale, bring your knees down if you need to, or keep them lifted. Come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, or if you have low back step, you can come down into more of a cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. No. Hi, baby. Two more breaths here. On your next inhale, look between your hands. And step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Yes. We're going to do one more round. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. High knees up. Step it back. The plank. Inhaling in plank. And then making your way through your vinyasa. Taking 5 breaths in downward dog. And if you're at a place where you're like, just come down into child's pose. Take child's pose for the next few moments. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, look between your hands. And then exhale, step forward, hop to the front of your back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pull. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. And from here, we're going to change things up a little bit. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your left foot back to a lunge. And you're going to firmly plant both your hands, and you're going to bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. So we're coming into lizard pose. So you can either stay here, or you can bring your back knee down to the ground. Whatever works best for your hips. Two more breaths here. I can run more. And then on your next inhale, you're going to heel toe your foot back in between your hands. So it's going to be just to the inside of your right hand. Bring your back knee down. You want to be more on the top of your knee than on the center of your knee. And then inhale, bring your arms up. Two more breaths here. You can untuck your toes if you'd like. And then on your next breath, you're going to place your hands down on either side of your front foot. And you have a couple of options here. You can either step your right foot back and bring your left foot forward. Or if you want to play a little bit on your next inhale, you're going to jump and switch. And once you've switched, you're going to heel toe your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Once again, either bringing your back knee down or keeping it lifted. And taking lizard pose on this side. Breathing here. And then bringing your back knee down, walking your left foot to the inside of your left hand. And coming up to a low lunge. Arms sweep up, back toes can be tucked or untucked. You're really making sure that your hips are even. You might draw your left hip back a little bit and then bring your knee forward so your knee is directly over your ankle. If your arms above your head is too much, you can bring them to your hips. And then slowly release your hands. And from here, we're going to come into pigeon, but we're going to kind of come into a little bit of an easier pigeon because I don't know about you, but I have incredibly tight hips and always have had incredibly tight hips. So pigeon with your leg parallel to the front of your mat does not work for me. So you're going to heel toe your foot over towards your right hip. And then if you need a little help, you can bring it close. And it's okay to have your heel directly like where your pelvis is. It's perfectly fine. If you want, you can place another blanket or a block under your leg if you have access to that. Also, if your ankle is wobbly, you'll tuck your back toes. And from here, you have a choice. You can either stay upright, or you can slowly come down under your forearms. Perhaps if it's easier, you can bring your head to your mat. If you have more space, but you don't have a block, you can bring one fist on top of another and place your head down there. So it's whatever works for you. Once again, pulling in towards your center, so your left hip is going back, right hip is going forward. Breathing here. Two more breaths here. On your next inhale, you're going to make your way back up. And you're going to tuck your toes. Start to lift your back leg up and then come back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, side out. Take an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, you're going to bring your right foot forward, so having your right heel towards your pelvis this time. Once again, putting something, if you need to, underneath. And then slowly making your way down in whatever way works best for you. But wherever you're at, really trying to release your head, your neck, and your jaw. Two more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, making your way back up. Tucking your back toes. And bicycling out your feet. At any point, coming back to your intention, to the mantra that we said at the beginning of class. Coming back to that idea of trust, of being supported. We have the capacity for so much when we are supported, whether it is physically, emotionally, or spiritually. On your next inhale, look between your hands, step your right foot forward. We're going to come into Warrior Two. So you're going to have you're going to heel toe your foot towards the center of your mat. Back foot comes towards the center of the mat. You're going to have heel to arch alignment. Front knee is going to be directly over your right ankle. And your hips are going to be pointed towards the wall in front of where you are. And if you notice you're leaning forwards or backwards, just play with that a little bit. So go a little forwards, go a little too far back, and really find that center. And root down through the pinky edge of your back foot. Breathing here. Well done, Mabel. And then on your next inhale, bring your right forearm to your right knee. Left arm sweeps up and over, coming into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Really opening up through your chest. One more breath here. And then slowly bringing your hands towards the center, turning both of your feet so that they're slightly pigeon-toed in. You might want to come a little bit wider. And we're coming into Pasarito Patatamasana. So on the inhale, you're going to lengthen, and on the exhale, you're going to fold forward. And you're drawing up the energy from your legs. So you're engaging your legs. And once you engage your legs, you're going to inhale and lengthen, and then you're exhaling and folding a little bit deeper. So legs stay engaged. One more breath here. And we're going to head over towards the other side of your mat. So your left foot is going to be facing forward or facing to the left. And then your left heel will be in alignment with your right ankle. coming up into Virabhadrasana 2. So warrior 2 on this side, rolling your shoulders up and back, bringing your arms out, checking in again, leaning forward, leaning back, finding the center line. Left knee is over left ankle. Three more breaths here. On your next inhale, left elbow comes to left knee. You might have to adjust your feet a little bit, either bringing them in a little closer or a little further. And then you're going to reach your right arm all the way over. Two more breaths here. On your next inhale, making your way back to Pasarito Patatamasana in the center of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, forward. Folding in. And on your next inhale, you're going to just begin to, without disturbing any kidneys, heel toe, with your feet back together. Taking your feet hip distance apart, inhaling halfway lift and exhaling, folding. And then making your way onto your back. I have been kicked off my mat. And placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Bring your knees into your chest. And we're going to take a twist. So placing your feet on the ground, knees are bent. Pick up your hips, shift them a little over to the left, and then let your knees fall to the right. Arms can come out into a T shape or into cactus arms, depending on how much space you have.
And inhale back to center. This time, pick your hips up, shift them over to the right, then let your knees fall to the left. Two more breaths here. And inhale back up. And from here, bringing one leg down. And then the other leg down. And for Shavasana, you have a couple of options. You can either place your hands out alongside you, palm face up. Or if you need a little bit more support this morning, you can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Either way, feet turn out to the side. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, just softly sigh it out. And for the next minute or two, I'm just going to be here in silence and allow you to just soften into the earth and soak up the benefits of your practice today, whether or not you were able to do the poses, whether or not you took it easy. Just knowing that you being here was good for your soul. And once you've had a few moments of peace and quiet, and now we'll begin to lead you through the guided meditation to finish out our practice today.
Okay. To deepen your breath, just a little. We're going to take these next few moments and use this time to release anything from the week, like sponges, humans, and pets soak up energy. And so we're going to do this meditation with ourselves and with any animals that we have. We're going to start by creating a way to release everything from the week. Rosie was not informed that this was meditation time. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to create a tree trunk underneath your sit bones, and it's going to go all the way down to the center of the earth. And know that just by asking it to be, it will be so. You don't have to literally see it in order for it to happen. You just have to think it. So in your mind, just visualize a tree trunk going from your sit bones. It's nice and hollow, and it goes all the way down to the center of the earth. I like to visualize what the center of the earth looks like because it helps me to bring it a little bit deeper down. But the choice is yours. And then if you have any pets, you can visualize that they have a tree trunk going from their center all the way down to the center of the earth as well. And this tree trunk with them is hollow as well. And perhaps once you do this, you might notice that you are yawning or coughing, or your eyes might be watering, or nothing might be happening. But just know that any of those things are a sign that you are beginning to release anything that does not belong to you, or anything that no longer serves you, or anything that you're ready to release. And so the way that we're going to fuel this even further is you're going to visualize a button or a lever off to the side of you that says the word release. And you're going to push that button, or you're going to pull the lever, and just really fully let go. Let go of your work week, of any arguments or heated discussions that you might have had throughout the week, of anything that really drained you or caused you frustration. And then checking over by your pet and just visualizing the same thing with the button or the lever that says the word release, and you're going to push the button or pull the lever for your pet as well, and just allow them to release any of your energy that they absorbed over the week, or any anxiety that they might have. And just be here with your animal, releasing and letting go. And if you find it easier, you can visualize your happy place. Perhaps that's a beach. Perhaps it's just a chair in your house where you sit with your animal or read a book. Maybe a nice meadow with a bench. Whatever you need to do, but meditation is as simple as just setting an intention and following through with it. If you find your mind wandering, you can come back to the words inhale and exhale with each breath. We'll be here for a few minutes. Slowly, as you're ready, before we come out of this, you can set the intention that you'll continue to release throughout your day, and letting go of what no longer serves you. And coming back to your intention from the start of class, or the mantra that I suggested about trusting. And allow yourself to sit in the feeling and that vibration of your intention or the mantra. And when you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Stretch, being mindful of your surroundings. Making your way into a fetal position on your right hand side. Taking a moment to feel the grounding energy of the earth. Coming up to a comfortable seat. Placing your palms on top of your heart. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Thanking everyone else who showed up with you. I thank you all for showing up today. Those of you that I know and those of you that are new. And the kittens and I wish you a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Thank you so much for having us.